Welcome. My name is Joe Franta. Welcome to the channel. This channel is all about being a U.S. merchant mariner. So if you're interested in something like that, please be sure to subscribe. One of the most asked questions on the channel is from new sailors or aspiring sailors asking me what they should bring on their first ship. So I think it's about time for me to show you what I put in my sea bag. So yeah, let's get into the video. What's in my sea bag? I see a lot of guys sign on to ships and they have a bunch of luggage and all these suitcases that they're lugging around. When I sign on a ship, I like to consolidate everything to a sea bag and my backpack. And the reason for that is, one, it's a lot easier to travel when you have the duffel bag and just the backpack. But also when I sign off the ship, usually if I sign off in the States, chances are that I'm just going to stay in whatever port I'm at, walk down the gangway, and just kind of go with the wind. And it's a lot easier to do that if you're not dragging a bunch of luggage behind you. So we'll break this down into 4 categories. We're going to start off with clothes, then we'll go into hygiene, gear, and we'll finish up with some random oddball stuff that I bring. Every single ship I've been on, with the exception of the ship that just went around Hawaii, has gone from a really hot climate to a very cold climate. Even if you sign on a ship that's in the Gulf, I've been on a ship in the Gulf that we've been running fuel from Houston to Florida, and then all of a sudden we get a call and now we're making our way up to Philly and we're going down to Delaware where there's ice. Or you're in Nova Scotia and then you go all the way down to a couple degrees below the equator. Ships go all over the planet, all different seasons, northern, southern hemisphere, it doesn't matter. The temperature is always changing, so pack accordingly. But with that said, let's get into the clothes. So obviously, underwear and socks. Then obviously work shirts. I'll just buy the cheap Hanes pack of t-shirts, cotton tees, and they'll last me a couple trips. If they get too dirty or too grimy, I'll just throw them out. But some of them have lasted a couple voyages now. I'll grab 1 pair of work pants. I usually wear coveralls, but it's nice just to have work pants just in case you need them. But usually I just wear coveralls, but it's nice to have the work pants. Hoodies are my favorite thing, so I usually bring a couple of them. I have one for laying around my room, I have a bridge one, I have a working one, bring my sweatpants, and then I'll have a couple things of basketball shorts. I'll wear the sweatpants after work, or if it's too hot, I'll throw on the pair of basketball shorts. Then the other pair of basketball shorts I'll have for the gym or any kind of working out or anything like that. And you know, me being a bald gentleman, I have a pretty good head apparel game. So when I sign on a ship, I have a work hat, a bridge hat, and a going out hat. And I usually bring other hats too. And of course a beanie, bunch of bandanas. When you're working on deck and you have to wear a hard hat, it sucks wearing a hard hat straight on your head, so you have a beanie or you have a bandana, you throw the bandana on, and yeah. And shoes, regular sneakers, house shoes. A lot of ships I've been on, the captain doesn't want your toes sticking out, so you have to make sure your toes are covered. So whatever shoes or house shoes or slippers you get, make sure the toes are closed off. And of course, work boots. Yeah, ships usually will reimburse you for your boots, or give you some money towards the boots as long as they're OSHA approved and check all the boxes. Pro tip, when you're signing on a ship, make sure you wear your boots on the plane. Being sailors, we fly pretty frequently, and the chances of us losing, of the airline losing our luggage are pretty high. And if your boots are in your suitcase or your sea bag and they lose your suitcase, then you sign on a ship, you can't work because you don't have your work boots. But if you're wearing your work boots and they lose your bag, you're still able to work when you sign on a ship. They'll give you coveralls and you can still get the job done. So always fly to the ship with your boots. But on the way home, throw them in the sea bag. 1 or 2 nice shirts and a nice pair of pants. When you do pull up into a port and you want to go out, you don't want to be going out in your crappy work shirts, so it's nice to bring a going out shirt. Long johns, tops and bottoms. And finally, a laundry bag. I usually pack enough for 7 days. I try to do my laundry once a week, so if I have 7 days worth of socks and underwear, it's important to figure out whatever brand of deodorant or toothpaste you use, how long they last you. You'll figure it out after a couple voyages, but I tend to bring 2 months worth of deodorant and toothpaste with me in the beginning. Chances are within 2 months you're going to be in a port where you can go to Walmart and stock up again. Or worst case scenario, most ships have a slop chest where they sell basic toiletries and stuff like that. Okay, let's get into the hygiene stuff. Obviously, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush, body wash or bar soap. And we'll do an honorable mention of shampoo. So however long shampoo is supposed to last, I don't know. I'm saving a fortune in shampoo. Mouthwash, some whitening strips, Q-tips, and a couple flossers. So I'll usually get a sandwich bag and I'll throw a couple Q-tips in there along with those flosser things, and they'll last me 4 months, no problem. Baby powder, if you know, you know. Moisturizer, face moisturizer, and chapstick. The air in the ship is, whether it's heat or the air conditioning, it's recirculated air. It's usually very, very dry. So your skin gets so dry and itchy. It's really nice to have moisturizer. It's really nice to have moisturizer and lotion with you. That stuff goes a long way. A razor, your clippers, tweezers, and toenail clippers. When things are really tiny, it's nice to have the mindset of I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. The one time I was on a ship, I didn't have toenail clippers and I had ingrown toenail, and it was awful. I ended up having to soak my foot in salt water. I had to use a knife. It got infected. It could have completely been avoided if I just clip my toenails the right way with a toenail clipper. So yeah. All right, let's start talking about the equipment, the gear. A watch, a knife. Alec, I hope you're seeing this. But yeah, every deckhand needs a knife. Super important. Nothing crazy. Just cheap, crappy Walmart knife is fine. A flashlight. If you're in deck, yeah, it's important to have a flashlight, especially if you're working at night. But if you're in the engine room, it is very important that you have a flashlight. God forbid if we lose power and you're in a space without any windows, that room is going to be pitch black. So it's very important that you carry a flashlight on your persons at all times if you're in the engine room. Or anybody, really. most ships will provide PPE. So they'll give you, coveralls, a hard hat, gloves, safety glasses, ear protection, all that stuff. But with that said, if you go on a ship and a ship gives you really nice gloves or really good eye protection, and you leave that ship, if you were wearing that and using that for the past couple months, take those gloves with you. Take those safety glasses with you, because the next ship may not be so generous or may not have as good of quality as the previous ship. So if you have some nice piece of gear you got from a ship, be sure to bring that with you. With that said, I have really nice safety sunglasses that I bring. They're all scummy. They got paint and grease all over them. And because of that, I also have my regular sunglasses that I bring. Dayquil and NyQuil. Every time you sign on a ship, it's a little bit of a shock to your system. Whether that be the new climate, new dietary habits, sleep patterns, it kind of shocks your system, and I usually get a little sick. I'm not like throwing up or anything crazy like that, but I usually bring a thing of Dayquil and NyQuil. And if I feel myself starting to get sick, I'll just take a couple sips of that to try to keep it at bay. The last thing you want to do is get sick on a ship. Also, cough drops, helpful, and Advil. If you have a headache or if you're sore and you want to take Advil, if you ask the ship for Advil, they're going to have to take it out of the hospital and make you fill out all this paperwork just to get 2 damn Advil. So bring your own Advil or Tylenol or whatever just to avoid that headache. No pun intended, kind of. Melatonin. Sometimes when you're on a ship, they say you have to sleep fast. Usually it's some all hands thing that's going to happen in the middle of the night. So if you have the ability to get like 4 hours of sleep beforehand, you want to try to sleep as fast as you possibly can to get those 4 hours. And I don't know about you, but me, if I think about trying to fall asleep, I can't fall asleep. So I'll have some melatonin, and if I need to take it, if I need to sleep, if you have any kind of prescription medicine, if you're signing on a ship for 4 months, be sure you have enough medicine for that entire 4 months, maybe even 5 or 6 months. So if you have prescription medicine, bring more than enough. You'd rather be safe than sorry. A coffee thermos. Most ships will have ceramic coffee mugs, paper cups. However, it is very, very, very nice to have your own coffee thermos. When you wake up, fill up your coffee thermos and you can carry it around on deck with you wherever you go. It is a lifesaver having your own coffee thermos. So very important you bring your own. And kind of like the same vein, water bottle. I carry my 64-ounce hydro flask with me everywhere. I usually drink like 1 or 2 of them every day. I'll put ice, a little bit of lemon, water in there. The ship is pretty long, so if you're working up forward and you're thirsty, it's really convenient to have that water with you on deck, especially in the hotter climates. A battery block, earbuds, a laptop with a hard drive, and also a tiny USB. A lot of ships have libraries and TVs with DVDs and all kinds of stuff like that, but most guys I know, they will bring their own laptop on the ship, and with the laptop, guys will bring a hard drive where they'll have hundreds and thousands of movies and TV shows. I recommend that you bring a tiny USB. The last thing you want is for you to give your hard drive to somebody to take out some movies, and the guy accidentally formats your hard drive and you lose your whole collection. So that's why I always bring a little USB, and if somebody wants something, I'll just throw it on there. If I want something, I'll just give them that USB. It's a lot easier to transfer that thing. Obviously, you need your credentials, but I also like to have a case to keep all of them together. I always bring a folder. Every time I go on a new ship, I always get a brand new folder. When you're on a ship, you're going to get pay vouchers, overtime sheets, memos, especially your discharge. You're going to accumulate a lot of paperwork. And it's always nice just to have a folder where you can throw everything. Then when I go home, I take that folder and I throw it right in my filing cabinet. So I seriously have every piece of paper I've ever gotten from every ship I've ever sailed on. I think that wraps it up for the video. If you guys have any questions, please be sure to leave it in the comments below. And all you seasoned, weathered, salty sailors out there, please leave what you put in your sea bag in the comments. I'm sure it'll help the younger guys. I love the community around this channel, with everybody always talking and sharing sea stories and advice and everything. So please keep that going in this comment section. Help each other out. Also, guys, if you're looking for the list, there'll be a whole list of everything we talked about in the description. It'll all be down there for you. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this was helpful. To all you young guys, good luck on your first ship. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, see you in the next video. If you enjoyed the video and you'd like to support the channel, please consider liking, subscribing, or sharing the video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.